HKMT3. I'm from Section 9. My group number is number 2. Today I will be presenting on my research. The title is The Impact of Brand Loyalty on Customer Satisfaction Among Apple Smartphone. Specifically focus on user of Apple iPhone. This topic is important because Apple is known for having one of the strongest brand loyalties in the world. Many users continue to purchase iPhone repeatedly. However, the key question is, does this loyalty actually mean customers are satisfied? Are there other factors influencing their experience? So, in this presentation, I will cover the research background, methodology, finding, critical analysis, and real-world implications. Okay, we move to the next slide, which is research overview. The smartphone industry is one of the most competitive industry today. Brands like Apple, Samsung, Oppo, and others are constantly competing to attract and retain customers. In such a competitive environment, customer retention becomes extremely important because retaining existing customers is often more cost-effective than attracting the new one. Apple stands out because of this strong ecosystem, including iCloud, Android, and seamless device integration. This feature creates a strong emotional attachment among the users. As a result, Apple users tend to be very loyal. However, this study whether that loyalty truly reflects satisfaction or whether users stay because of convenience and ecosystem dependency. Next, I will talk about research problem and objective. The main problem identified of this study is that brand loyalty does not always indicate genuine satisfaction. In the Apple ecosystem, users may feel locked in because switching to another brand means losing compatibility with other Apple devices and the service. This creates switching costs, which may force users to remain loyal even if they are not fully satisfied. Therefore, the objective of this study is to examine the impact of brand loyalty on customers among iPhone users. The research question is brand loyalty significant related to the customer satisfaction? This is important because companies may wrongly assume that loyalty equals satisfaction. Okay, next, conceptual framework. The conceptual framework of this study consists of one independent variable and one dependent variable. Brand loyalty is the independent variable, referring to emotional attachment and repeated purchasing behavior towards Apple smartphone. And customer satisfaction is the dependent variable, referring to how satisfied users are with their overall iPhone experience. This relationship is supported by two theories. First is expectation confirmation on theory, which explains that satisfaction occurs when a product meets or exceeds customer expectation. Second is relationship marketing theory, which focuses on building long-term relationship through trust, commitment, and emotional connection. This theory suggests that stronger loyalty should lead to the higher satisfaction, but this study tests whether the assumption is truly valid. Next, I will move to the methodology. This study used a quantitative research design, which means it's focused on numerical data and statistical analysis. Data was collected using a structured questionnaire distributed to iPhone users. A total of 403 respondents were selected using simple random sampling, which helped reduce bias and ensure fairness. Then, the data was analyzed using SPSS, which is commonly used in academic research. The analysis include descriptive statistics to describe the sample, correlation to examine relation, and regression to identify the strength of influence between variables. Next, respondent profile. The respondent profile shows that most participants are young adults aged between 25 to 25, making up 86.6%. The majority are female and students with income below 2,000 ringgit Malaysia. This indicates that the sample mainly represent younger students based on Apple user. Additional, most respondents have used iPhones for less than 1 year. This is important because newer users may have different satisfaction level compared to the long-term user, which may influence the result. Next, we move to the respondent profile. The respondent profile shows that most participants are young, although aged between 21 to 25, making up 86.6%. The majority are female and the students with income below 2,000 ringgit Malaysia. This indicates that the sample mainly represent younger student-based Apple users. Additional, most respondents have used iPhone for less than 1 year. This is important because newer users may have different satisfaction levels compared to long-term users, which may influence the result. Next, we move to the correlation finding. The correlation analysis shows a Pearson value of 0.756 with a p negative value below 0.001. They indicated a strong and statistically significant positive relation between brand loyalty and customer satisfaction. In simple terms, as loyalty increases, satisfaction also increases. This supports the idea that Apple users who are more loyal tend to feel more satisfied with their device. Next, regression findings. In this slide, the regression analysis provides deeper insight. The R-square value is 0.711, means 71.1% of customer satisfaction can be explained by the variable in the model. Brand loyalty is significant, but the impact is relatively smaller compared to other factors. Perceived value has the strongest influence, followed by brand image and the price. This shows that even though Apple users are loyal, their satisfaction depends more on whether they feel the product worth the price, whether the brand image is strong, and whether the pricing is acceptable. Next, we move to the critical analysis. This study had several strengths. It used a large sample size which improved reliability and applied strong statistical analysis. The focus on a real brand like Apple also increased practical relevance. However, there are limitations. The sample is heavily dominated by students, so it may not represent older or working professionals. The study also focused on Apple, so the result cannot be generalized by other brands. Additionally, the cross-sectional design only captures one moment in one time, not a long-term behavior. There is also some inconsistency as the study includes additional variables beyond brand loyalty. Next, I will move to the real-world relevance. In real-world application, this study provides important insight for Apple. It shows that Apple should not rely on brand loyalty. Instead, the company must continue to improve perceived value, maintain a strong brand image, and ensure pricing remains acceptable to customers. These factors are essential for long-term customer satisfaction and retention. Now, we move to the conclusion. In conclusion, this study confirmed that brand loyalty has a significant positive impact on customer satisfaction among Apple users. However, it is not the strongest factor. Customer satisfaction is influenced by both emotional factors such as loyalty and trust and functional factors such as value, price and performance. Okay, that's all from my presentation. Thank you for listening and see you in the next presentation. Assalamualaikum.